Earthlings, most of the time when you see YouTubers or whatever put like a kind of clickbaity cover on the front of their YouTube video, it's because they want you to think it's more interesting than it is, or have it be a really cool picture that you're gonna click on. But on my YouTube channel, those pictures are just a cover. Things like this. I know I've drawn attention to that in like the last 3 videos, but every time I see it on the camera, it is so bad that I feel like I need to apologize, and I definitely don't want that picture hanging around on my YouTube channel. Like, you can click on it and be like, oh, I've been catfished, this person's really actually disgusting. That's fine. But I just don't want that on the main frame, so sorry you've been clickbaited. So this video is about how yesterday I conquered, I would say, a couple of fears, but basically it's the same fear, because it's my fear of being in like a weird enclosed space with a bunch of people. This is similar to my anxiety about movie theaters, but not quite, because I actually get dizzy in movie theaters, just because the screen is so big and bright and the room is so dark, and like the air is always like blowing on you, freezing you. Other people love the movie theaters. I only go if I really want to see the movie usually. Or if my sister really wants me to see like Hamlet or something. Was that worth it? We still ask ourselves to this day. Anyway, so yesterday morning I went to church, which don't usually do, because we have a home church that's, you know, when you believe as radically differently as we do, it's basically just us, a few friends, in the Bible. No one else is really gonna take us, and a regular church is not usually super suitable. I mean, I went to a lot of different churches as a kid, but I haven't been to one in like regularly in years upon years. Last summer I went one time with my aunt, but it's been a long time since I went to a church regularly. But we were staying with her again this weekend, and so she was going to church, so we went with her. And we also had to like stand outside the table that was selling those shoe boxes you fill for kids in other countries. So we had to stay a long time, but that's another story. When we went into the actual service, I was a bit anxious because like the building, it's a kind of small sanctuary with like tall ceilings. There's a bunch of people. You can't just run out and be like, oh, I'm having a panic attack, I need to run outside now. Like, it was also kind of raining yesterday morning, so you can't just run out, and that makes me anxious because I feel trapped in there and I feel weird, like everyone's looking at me, and like, I mean, they probably were. Let's not gonna lie, this thing was actually much larger yesterday. There's no way people weren't staring. And then you get to the point where you have to go pass God's peace to your neighbor, and they're all like putting out their hands like, can I shake your hand? And shaking your hand, they're like, oh, you're new, let's shake your hand. And I'm like, if I catch even a sniffle this week, I know why. And it's like basically a very traditional Lutheran church. Like, for the ones I've seen a few in my day. I was a Lutheran from birth until like 6 or 7 maybe. I don't remember exactly when we left that, but that was like the first church that I remember going to. Obviously not in this state, it was a different one, but so it's weird, like you go through all the same like rituals in the service and the same prayers and like the Apostles' Creed and stuff like that, and you're just like, I remember saying this all the time when I was a kid. Actually, when I was a kid, I used to like rush to say like the Lord's Prayer, the Apostles' Creed, all those ones faster than all the adults were saying them, because like they're all reciting it, and I'd be like blah, 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 really fast, just to see if I could beat them. Like, nobody could hear my little tiny voice down there below everyone, so I was just like, I'm gonna get faster. I also used to play this game, like if the sermon was too boring, I would like press on the insides of my ears like this, in and out, in and out, in and out, and it would make the pastor sound really weird. Tangent alert. Yeah, like I said, we left that church when I was 6 or 7, so I was not a very mature child. Anyway, so the sermon that they gave was a little off-putting to me at first, because he comes on and he's just like, are you getting the most out of God's grace? And I'm just like, okay, he's not an investment company. I mean, like, I think his sermon was not that offensive when he got into it, but just that was just, to me, it was kind of offensive, like, he's giving it to us free, what do you mean? But anyway, I had kind of a different takeaway than what he had on it, which was, in listening to all that talk about God's grace and stuff, I was thinking about, I was just like, we as people who are children of God, who are followers of God, who are professing to want to be like God, in that following him, keeping his commandments and all that stuff, we should also be having that kind of grace for other people. Like, we should be looking to extend as much grace to the people that we know as God is willing to extend to us. Because like if we're expecting that from God, we should be showing it to our neighbor. It's basically like forgiveness, and just forgiveness always on into forever. Like Jesus said, you should forgive your brother 70 times 7 or whatever it was, something to do with sevens. And you should not stop forgiving people, because you wouldn't want God to stop forgiving you for things. So you should keep forgiving other people for things. If you want to be like God, that is very important. You should have his grace towards everyone. Now, I'm not saying you should just give like a million second chances to somebody who's always hurting you, or trust people beyond a point where they've proven that they can't be trusted. That's not really the issue here. The point is, you should still forgive them. You should still extend grace to them. You should still love them. So that's that. I just wanted to mention that in here. And the other thing that I did was last night we went to a concert because it was my sister's birthday, and she had tickets to one of her favorite post-rock bands playing just outside Boston. And we had to park like a mile away and walk, so that was fun. Actually, no, it was fun. I like walking. And some of the places out there smell so good. Like outside the restaurants, it's like, oh, so tasty. Anyway, what didn't smell good was when we got to the venue, and you could just... I haven't smelled a lot of pot in my life, but you could smell the pot a bit outside. Like my mom said it would be really like sweet and pungent, but it was actually kind of skunky. I don't know. There were some weird sweet smells too. It was just like... It was really freaky. My aunt was just like, well, who are you gonna trust, your mom or me? I think it's really, really pungent. And I was just like having a panic attack because I thought I wasn't gonna inhale pot and die. Or at least get high and then maybe die. I don't know. I was really, really scared that we were all gonna get high. Which sounds a little irrational now, but it was so terrifying to me. I was just like, it's not actually, I hate even regular medicine, and I don't want to get high on something that's not even healthy. It's like, no. So I did brave the entire concert the whole time that the main show was on, like the main band, not the guy who started, because I was outside for a little bit then, but like I sat through the whole thing. I did have like earplugs in, like I had earbuds in without anything playing in them, just because the music was so loud. My ears would be dead today if I didn't. Like my sister was way closer to the band, and she comes out last night and she's like, "Whoa, my ears are kind of fuzzy and tired," or something like that. I'm like, "You think?" Like some of the drums were so hard, they're like vibrating me all the way in the back of the room, and I don't know why they have to play it so loud. Like I could enjoy a concert way more if it was just nice music being played at a reasonably loud level, like loud enough to be like a party, but not like shaking everything in the place like this was. But anyway, I was a bit anxious, but I prayed. I didn't get high, and I sat through the whole thing. So double victory. I didn't run out of church. I didn't run out of the concert, and I didn't get high. So go out, conquer your anxieties, no matter how stupid they are. Make videos about them on YouTube, no matter how ugly you are, and no matter what you have growing on your forehead, because these are the type of things that build confidence. Have a nice day, Earthlings!